Hello and welcome to another modern stream. We are gonna be playing some Amulet today, but with a little spin. We already played a little bit of this list, which is featuring probably my favorite card printed in the past 5 years, which is Elvish Reclaimer. This card is just it's just sweet, right? It's basically a tutor, which we like tutors, right? We were big fan of tutors in this in this stream. So it is a tutor that can also become a threat back in the late game because it becomes a 3/4, which is nothing to scoff at. Also, it can be a ramp spell as well because of Flagstones of Troker. The interaction between these two cards is actually very, very powerful, allowing you to effectively find one of your Temple Gardens whenever you sack it, and also find another land, be the Bounce Land, Semi-Ghost Chamber, Tolerial West, of course. Bojuku Ball, we have a ton of options. One thing that I'm adding today versus the last time that I streamed this deck is a Castle Garenbrig. Okay, I'm trying to make room for this card because in the regular versions, the regular amulet lists, we've already experienced the power of this card. So I wanted to make sure that I have access to that card as well here. Of course, Reclaimer is going to help get value from this as well. And once upon a time, obviously, the best cantrip ever printed, basically, or one of the best cantrips ever printed. Extremely powerful in this shell, as it's going to be, in literally any amulet shell. So this is the main deck that we're going to play. I don't remember what the last list that I played looked like, but yeah. So this is what I don't know what the changes are. I guess I did cut Colony Garden, and we have Field of the Day in the main deck, but I think we already had access to Field in the previous list, so I'm not really sure. In any case, we move on to the sideboard. What you're gonna see is that we're actually playing a white splash here. And this is because, like, a big reason to play Elvish Reclaimer is because of Flagstone of Troker. Like, this interaction is basically what makes the deck tick. So, if we're playing Reclaimer, then playing any less than 4 Flagstones is probably just a mistake or not worth doing, effectively. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be running today. We are again playing Chameleon Colossus. Like, the amount of Grixis Shadow in Moto right now is just absurd. So Chameleon Colossus is probably gonna be worth an inclusion here, and that's the same reason why I have access to the second Cavern of Souls in the sideboard. We already know how powerful this card is in the control matchups, and of course in the shadow matchup as well. And one thing I just noticed, let's fix that real quick. There we go. We want primetime to be on top. But yeah, so we have white splash because we already have a bunch of white sources. In fact, I feel like we're gonna be very reliably going to be casting these cards whenever we need them. And yeah, nothing too crazy besides that in the list. Um, just fire up a league and see how things go. Unfortunately, today I'm gonna need to leave earlier than usual, so I'm gonna be able to stream a single league. So let's make it count, shall we? It feels honestly kind of nice to be playing 33 lands. Not missing our land drops is gonna be exciting. In before we find a known lander. We're playing against the Dogfish. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this. So I'm gonna try to find an untapped green source on one, so we can Reclaimer and then we can Flagstones on two. Gonna see if we get there with the Once Upon. We do get there with the Once Upon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Turn one Reclaimer. Go. Aether Vial. Are we playing against the Folk? Probably playing against the Folk here. Unless my opponent's playing humans and they drew their one-off island. But humans hasn't... Has humans been playing island lately? I know that they used to. Okay, so it is the Folk. It is indeed the Folk. So we're definitely going to activate here. And I think we're going to find another Flagstones. And then that's going to allow us to ramp again next turn. And then next turn we're going to find Cavernous Souls. And that's going to allow us to safely Titan in the face of whatever counter magic they might have. Yeah, certainly we're doing that for sure. All right. I don't think there's anything that they can do here since it's the end step, so they can't play the dude that bounce a guy that bounce a tapped creature. Okay, so it's just a trickster. All right, so we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna get another Temple Garden, and then we're gonna get a Cavernous Souls. Cavernous Souls, naming giant. Poggers. Huh. I'm trying to see if we want to pack for anything, but I don't think so. I think we're just gonna play another Flagstones and pass a turn. One very interesting thing that you don't want to forget about this card is that the land that you find, you actually put it into play tapped. Like that's that's just how the ability works. So that's definitely something that it's easy to overlook. We can find yet another Flagstones here, and of the Titan trigger, I mean, and that is going to make the Reclaimer into a 3/3, into a 3/4. Sorry. All right, let's see what we draw. Hopefully, we draw something like an Amulet would be nice. Because now my opponent tapped out of counter magic, so they can't really. That's hilarious. Shouldn't have tapped out a blue opponent. So my opponent could have another trickster over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can't trigger. We can't trigger field. Well, I guess we actually can if we sack one of the Temple Gardens with the Reclaimer. So I'm going to assume that my opponent has another Trickster. So I'm not going to try to go for haste. So I think I'm just going to do Crossroads and Field of the Dead. This allows me to hold up Reclaimer activation, and should allow me to trigger the field as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I sack a Temple Guard, then I can trigger the field. We have another Summoner's Pact in hand. Huh. So they hardcast the Master, but they didn't flash anything with Aether Vial. Maybe they have the one that bounces a tapped creature. I can't remember the name. Curse Catcher. Why I have not seen this one in a while now. Huh, yeah. This is basically a death sentence right there. Yeah, so what we can do is like what I was expecting to do was basically for my opponent to cast Spreading Seas on any of my lands in order to make their dudes unblockable or whatever, and then I was going to sack one of my Temple Gardens, and I was going to find a bounce land so I can trigger field and also prevent the what's his name from having the Spreading Seas from resolving. Probably gonna get Tulariwas here. At this point, it's just like nothing really matters anymore. Like we're just too far ahead now. So I'm gonna lead on Pact. Force of Negation. Okay. Then I'm going to copy field. Let's go to combat now. If my opponent has a Trickster, they're going to need to flash it in right now. Yeah. So there it goes. But we're still looking super good here. Tricksters comes in, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to play another Reclaimer and just pass the turn. We can go find a bounce land with the active Reclaimer. We are protected from Spreading Seas. My opponent has 0 cards in hand. I am 100% sure my opponent simply cannot win this game anymore. We got double field going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Silver Grade Adept. Yeah, I just don't see how my opponent overcomes this. They can't really do anything. Yep. Nice. Alright. Reclaimer being completely bonkers that game. That felt good. Coffee Pirates, thank you so much for that that tier 1 subscription. Welcome back once again to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you so much for the support. Hey Anasho, how you doing? Welcome everybody. Hey Doctor, how you doing? Yeah, so we're bringing in removal spells and stuff. Taking out Bojuka Bog. What else? I like the Rex Sage against Merfolk. Taking out Pact of Negation. I'm doing great. Pan Bartos. This is from an album that I recorded some years ago with my band back in the day, which is called The Evenfall. You can find it in Spotify and stuff. And that is actually an excerpt from the song Freak Show. If you want to check it out, you can do it. It's a really cool album. I'm very, very proud of it. Oh, 3 more cards. That's right. We're sideboarding here. That's right. We're sideboarding. So Castle can come out. because we're gonna be basically 100% of the time be basically using the cavern to play our Titans instead of trying to castle them in. And anything else? We can probably shave one basic forest. Or one of the temple gardens. Nah, this is fine. I guess I'd rather shave one flax. One of them. This is rough. Because I really want to keep my green sources up, right? Because like turn 1 Reclaimer is just so powerful, and my opponent has basically no ways of interacting with it. So maybe I just shave it flagstones. Feels kind of bad, but I think I'm gonna. Yeah, today we certainly have a spicy number. Not the most exciting keep I've ever seen, but definitely feels like a keep nevertheless. Opponent's so good at playing Amulet on one. Alright, now my hand became significantly better now. So we're gonna play tap Temple Garden. And then we're gonna play a Susan next turn. Fairy Conclave. That is one I have not seen in a while. Oh, Lord of Atlantis. That's a really good draw. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. So my opponent has missed the land drop there. Two lords is a little bit too many. I could upkeep. 3, 4. I think I'm just gonna do it like during the turn, like now on attack step. For 3 mana, Regery. Gonna path a Regery here. See what my opponent does. I'm pathing the 3-drop because I really want my opponent to have all 2-drops, so Explosives on 2 becomes that much more effective. I think I'm okay taking 3 here. I'm not ecstatic about it. Also, of note, my opponent did not attack with the fairy, so they're definitely hanging on to some counter magic there. My draws are just stellar, though. When in doubt, just draw perfect, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do bounce land, here. Trigger some fields. And also gain some life. Yeah, this is just perfect. Oh, I forget that I need to get the field. Duh. Alright, never mind. I punted. Never mind. This is gonna be just fine, though. We're not gonna get a bunch of tokens, but we're probably gonna be okay. And next turn, we're just good to go. Yeah, so I should have gotten, like, basically bounce land plus field. And that I would have been... That's what I was thinking of, but for whatever reason, I kind of, like, brain farted. It still feels like I'm gonna win this game pretty easily. Oh, thank you, Pan Bartos. I appreciate it. Glad that you like it. Alright, so Vile stays at 3, so no Master of Waves to worry about. My opponent seems to be a mono blue, so no Okos either, which is nice. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. We're also chilling at 18. 18 seems like a lot of life. Spreading seas would be potentially mildly annoying, but we're going to be able to play, to cast and haste a Titan next turn as well. We do kind of get owned by... Yeah, so we do get owned by Echo in truth. If I cast a Titan and I haste it, so there's that. So I think what I'm going to do... Aha, Trickster. Interesting. So they tap the Titan, that's fine. Swing for 6. Okay. All right. So, Echo Intrude is still potentially problematic. So I think I'm gonna lead with an attack here. Okay, we do get to move to combat, which is great for us. So I think that I'm gonna get field for sure here, and then stronghold. I could try to go for explosives, but if I go for explosives and my opponent has Force of Negation, then that's annoying. So I'm gonna field Slayers. I'm gonna get a bounce land. I'm gonna with the Titan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 mana. 1 to cast the Reclaimer, 2 to haste it. So I can get tricky here, which I love it. Yeah, we're gonna get tricky. I'm basically gonna hold up Reclaimer activation here, so that way we can play around Spreading Seas very, very easily. So swing for 6. Then we're gonna get a bunch of blockers. 4, 5, 6. That's a Titan. Bounce, and I guess I'm gonna do double bounce here. And I'm gonna bounce and replay the Crossroads. Like, we have 2 Titans that my opponent has no answers to, so we're gonna get this card and this card. Then we're going to play this, and play this, and this. Your go. So we have exactly to haste the Reclaimer and 2 mana to activate it, which is awesome. Brazen Borrower. You see? Ha! We'll play it again around my opponent doing that stuff. Lord of Atlantis, okay. We got more? So you're gonna need more. That is certainly not enough for you to survive here, for you to kill me. Take 3. Yeah, this is over now. Hola Santi, ¿cómo andas? Opponent concedes. Was gonna haste the Reclaimer and activate it end step. Get more value. Easy 2-0 against Merfolk. We have so many lands that they just don't fit in the screen, so you're gonna need to do exclamation point deck in order to in order to see it. This card is so sweet, though. I love Elvish Reclaimer so much. It's great. You're also gonna be able to see the list in the Cardboard Live extension if you're watching on a computer, and maybe I think it works on mobile as well. I've never used it on mobile, but yep, 33 lands. It is a lot of lands. Well, we have not missed a land drop so far. If you were to play Amulet on a slightly outdated metagame, how would you build it? I think I would build it the same. I made a video on Monday, which you can find in my YouTube channel, Santi, that I called No Nonsense Amulet. And that is exactly as advertised. It's basically the list that I would play. What I consider to be right now the best Amulet list for most metagames. So I would probably play that. The only thing I did is I was playing one Chameleon Colossus over the third copy of Dismember, so you might want to play maybe if there's not too much Grixis Shadow as there is right now in Magic Online. For example, if you don't want to target Grixis Shadow specifically, you can play the third Dismember instead, which might just be better in an open meta. There's 1,000 active players. Why are we waiting so long for a match? It's kind of weird. I'll probably not have Chameleon Colossus. I was thinking of taking Fry or Dismember number 3. Yeah, I mean, I would only play Fry if I were if I had worked my mana base accordingly, right? If I were playing 4 gemstones instead of 2 gemstones, 2 breeding pool, and for 4 Grooters, or I guess 3 Grooters if you're playing Castle. But the whole castle thing giving you less color sources is kind of annoying. Come on. Oh, there you go. Clean 7 is going to be our next victim. Huh. So we're in the draw. How good is this card? I think I'm gonna keep it, but this certainly strikes me as very greedy. But I'm a greedy person, so I can't really. Speaking of Grixis Shadow. Yeah, so the problem with Fry against Oko is it simply doesn't kill it. So I could once upon here. I think I'm gonna hold because even if I find a Reclaimer, I'm not sure I want to play it into my opponent's Fatal Push. So I think I'm just gonna hold here and just not do anything. Classic basic forest pass. There's a water grave. No need for me to do anything. I'm just gonna play a Temple Garden tapped and pass it turn. As long as my opponent does not have a clock, I'm happy. So we're 100% playing against Grixis Shadow. Now we have confirmation. Thought Scour. So if they do cast the Gourmet Angler here, I am going to once upon in response because I don't want to enable my opponent's stuff. That's kind of a whiff, but at least we have Field of the Dead, which could be something, especially if Asusa doesn't die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 different name lands. 6, because we can copy one of my opponents. So play Asusa, play Field, play... I guess I'm gonna play... Yeah, I'm gonna play the Vesuva now, copying my opponent's Watery Grave. Actually, I'm gonna copy their Blood. The Steam Vents is actually the best one. That gives me blue mana to transmute and red mana to activate Stronghold or something. If we draw a Titan, we can make it uncontrollable, which is nice, although I really doubt that my opponent has any like main deck counter spells for Primeval Titan. That is slightly painful, but only painful if my opponent has a Death Shadow to follow up. Poggers. Sometimes Moto is just like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. So we're definitely getting Tolaria West and Sunhome. Sunhome allows me to attack through stuff. Yeah, okay. I could get Ghost Squatter because I can Ghost Squatter myself and then trigger Flagstones once again, but that's like, I feel like that's a little bit too cute. I could Bog. Nah, I'm just gonna do this. Let's get a couple of Sunwolves, pass the turn. Sets up the next Titan. And now this Titan is effectively lethal. I also love that we drew exactly Primeval Titan instead of Summoner's Pact, so if my opponent, like, basically at no point during this game I made my opponent stop slide. Which is just great. It's just tight play, you know? So I serve with the Titan. My opponent snap dismembers. My opponent snap dismembers. They make the Titan a 1/1. Then the Gurmag blocks the prime time. but the zombies get through, and then my opponent still does not have a shadow, and I can get another Tolaria West, and I already have blue sources in hand. Yeah, so my opponent kind of needs to snap this member right now, and they're going to need to take damage for it, then they're going to chomp one of the Zombos with the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I think that we're looking just fine here. I could get Flagstones to trigger 2 free zombies. That's kind of exciting. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 Flagstones. And can do Boros. Boros is kind of neat. I could do double Flagstones too, which is cute. Yeah, I think I'm definitely getting. I think I'm just getting Flagstones in Tolaria. I'm gonna keep this one. More Zombos. I'm gonna get a basic Swamp. They're probably gonna need to just like dismember the Prime Time. But they're just dying to the zombies though. Like, what is my opponent's plan here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't have enough to cast Titan right here, which is unfortunate. Zombos are gonna take over though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Prime time down. I can send my opponent down to 2. So then any zombie is lethal. Yeah, okay. This means I cannot transmute this turn, but again, I'm just winning. I'm just winning with what I got here. So I'm not particularly worried. 1 more Zombo for good measure. Exile your graveyard for even more measure. Even better measure. Zombos are gonna take over. Yep. Alright. Do I want to side out Reclaimers in this matchup? Probably. Usually in this matchup I side out Secure Tribe Scouts. But, you know, Stacy's just awful. Well, maybe a Reclaimer can potentially be good. If I'm siding out Reclaimer, then I'm for sure siding out Flagstones. Which is an interesting idea. Right? Like if I'm siding out Reclaimer, then Flagstones becomes terrible. I don't think I can side out Reclaimer though. I could see shaving 1 or 2. One more land. Probably basic forest. Castle because of 2 caverns. Yeah, but the thing is that um, the issue with Castle in this matchup is that this matchup is actually very fast, right? When we're playing against blue-white control, you don't like need Castle very often, right? Because you know that you're gonna make it to like turn 6, 7, almost every time. The difference with this matchup is that the shadow player puts a ton of pressure on you, actually very, very quickly. So sometimes you simply just don't have the time to play around caverns. So that is the difference between the the player on counter magic. Sorry, with to use cavern to play on counter magic. That is why I sideboard a little bit differently. Um, when it comes to the Death Shadow matchup specifically. Guess what we're playing against, Dito? Guess what we're playing against? Playing against the best deck in the format. Speaking of caverns, I probably just keep this hand. Just slam Colossus on 4. Ride it to victory. Oh, this hand is great. You see? That is your problem, Dito. You don't have faith. That's why you're not a good shadow player, you know? You need to get better at drawing like that, like I do. I mean, I wish I were playing. Yeah, we need to swap accounts. We need to swap accounts. I would love to be playing against e-tron every round. Can't do anything yet. Just have to hope that the shadow doesn't grow completely out of proportion. Like it's looking like it's gonna. It'd be nice to draw a path too. That would be very cool. Ugh. Fish. Damn it. That's a fish. Can I talk about the merits of flagstones? I recommend you check out the list, Kyle, because we're playing something very spicy today. We're playing something real spicy today. Okay, let's hold on for a second. What if I pack for a Sousa? I can't really pack for a Sousa. Just gonna do this. So this is gonna draw this stubborn or not. Name Giant here, literally anything that we name is going to enable us to play an uncounterable Colossus, so that's nice. But yeah, basically the only reason to be playing Flagstones is because we're playing Brutal. Alright. Bye bye, Summon Respect. Because we're playing Elvish Reclaimer. Wow. Just all the stuff. Opponent's got all the stuff. Alright, I can't take this 6. Just don't have another threat, please. Don't have a stub either, actually. Alright, so we just need to draw a Titan off the top. Easy feat. Good shadow player. Yep. Just having it all. They have the other shadow. Brutal. Prime time? That's not a prime time. So we're just dead. Alright. The perfect amount of discard spells. Changes, not really. Not really. I mean, there he is. We just gotta draw it. That's the hard part. Just gotta draw the Chameleon Colossus. If you don't draw it, it's not that good. Same thing with these cards. We gotta draw them for them to be good. Little known fact. Little known fact. Alright, on the play. So I'm gonna play Explosives on 1, and then my opponent's never gonna play a Shadow. Just wait for it. They're just gonna kill me with Gourmet Angler Beats. Just wait for it. Yeah, exactly. Just get a top deck on turn 4. It could be cute to Vesuva on 2, right? We can Vesuva and like sack the Flagstones. Get a Temple Garden. I'm gonna Celestia Sanctuary, but still, it's like it's a cute thought. It's a cute thought. Yeah, there we go. There's the Thoughtseize, and there goes my Chameleon Colossus. My opponent says, well, unbeatable card. Oh, huh. So I guess they have another discard spell, that's the only explanation. Nice. Now that I'm not planning to Azusa on 2, maybe actually do that? The only problem with that play is the fact... excuse me. The only problem with copying my own Flagstone and sacking it is that if I do top deck the Azusa, then I'm going to be behind the land drop. And then I'm going to be forced into bouncing my Temple Garden with Sanctuary if my opponent doesn't have a discard spell for this. I think it's cool, though. I think I'm into that because it protects me from Damping Sphere, which I am like very weak to right now. So I think I'm gonna go for that. So we're gonna keep this Flagstones. We're gonna trigger this. We're gonna find the Temple Garden. Opponent is allowed to have JVP now. No, they're just gonna have another discard spell for this one. Yep, you see, there we go. But maybe, just maybe, just maybe, thanks Tito for the stream, I just don't care about Shadow personally. Brutal. So my opponent either doesn't have a threat or doesn't have a stub. Either or. I guess we continue holding here, but on my opponent's end step, I'm actually going to once upon. Maybe their threat is actually a shadow, and they want to K-command the explosives first. I could see that. Nope. Once upon. Yeah, Cavernous Soul is the pick here. Okay. So now the second that we top deck a Titan, we effectively win the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if we draw any land that it's not one of the ones that we have right here, we are gonna start getting sombos. And we have one shadow and up to 2 anglers covered, or like 1 angler plus 1 stubby. Maybe we just start getting like Snapcaster beaten down. Do you not play good versions of Amulet anymore? Like I literally did that on I literally did that the other day. What are you talking about? Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I think I'm gonna pact here. My opponent's probably gonna stub me. But then I don't get owned by a discard spell. Because I get super owned by a discard spell otherwise. Look at this, I'm just a professional here. Just a professional. My opponent says more lands. You should have your lands do stuff like mine. Tillery West and Simic Growth Chamber. Or I could bog my opponent. I could even bog myself because of Drowning the Luck. Because at this point I don't really care about Gurmag Angler anymore. Like I have it super covered. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna do this. And I'm gonna bounce the Flagstones. The Vesuva, I mean. We are covered from... We can pay for Pact. I guess Damping Sphere. I didn't play around Damping Sphere, but like Shadow doesn't really play that much Damping Sphere anymore. Maybe I should have played around it anyway, just because I was so far ahead. Opponent slams Blood Moon and laughs. That would be, yeah, that would be interesting. Blood Shadow is coming. You would have conceded on the Pact, Dido. Nice, nice. That's some tight Shadow player right there. My fingers are fast. To revoke and set up for Titan next turn with once. Yeah. Should the Natty Bog come in? Well, I didn't have the Natty Bog, so... I watched an Amulet player get Magus of the Moon in a match that mattered. I mean, I have gotten Magus of the Moon in the past. Not in matches that mattered, but look at this sand. This sand is like gasoline. The only thing missing from this hand would be Flagstones, which I think I'm gonna find with this first Reclaimer trigger. God damn it! Everybody and their mom is just playing Shadow now. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. So I can play Simic. Yeah, so now that my opponent shows me a Soulscar Mage, I don't feel like this guy is gonna survive. So I really want to get my... I really want to find a Tolaria West now. So I'm gonna do play Simic, trigger, activate, sack Gemstone, find Tolaria West, bounce Tolaria. Look at that tight play. God damn. Yeah, I actually played against this person yesterday. This was my only loss when I played that league with Hardened Scales. Prime time? How do we sequence? So I can Pact for a Sousa. Pact for a Sousa. Can I transmute too? That is the question. No, I can't, because if I do, I cannot pay for Pact. So I can't really do anything. I just need to play my Tolaria West and pass the turn. Feels bad, man. Alright, so I need to hope that I don't die here. Which I could. My opponent showed me yesterday that they're very good at drawing Metamorphoses. This board here single-handedly makes me not want to play Amulet ever again. Why? Prowess is a fine matchup. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, like I said, my opponent is very good at drawing Metamorphose. Ren and Ticks? Are we just jamming Ren and Ticks into literally every deck? Is that what's going on now? I mean, are you sure you don't want to play Amulet ever again? Shadow? Yeah? You sure you don't want to play Amulet ever again? Play Amulet. Pact for Asusa. 3 mana floating. Bounce this. 4, 6. Bounce. Transmute. Titan. Titan. Activate once. Opponent's at 16. They have no blockers. With Pact of Negation backup. Sound good? People coming to my channel telling me they don't want to play Amulet. Come on. You guys know better than this. You guys know better than this. So we have one gemstone left because we sacked one. So we're gonna get Stronghold, Vesuva, copy this, activate twice, bounce Vesuva, haste, swing, then Sun Home and activate and double strike. Yeah. Let's get serious here, people. Let's get serious. Sun Home and Crossroads for value. Yeah. So we make sure that we cannot pay for Pact, you know? Where's the Okos? Why would you want Okos? Like, do you see what we're doing here? Why would we ever want to play Okos? Like, our deck is busted. We don't need no Okos. I just want to hop on next mage and play Amulet. Yeah, that is the feeling that I want to encourage in my channel. Amulet is far too hard. I just play Simic Ursa at Pedicure with zero practice. Yeah, that sounds like a good move though. Had a great game against Amulet Titan a couple weeks ago at an AQ. I was on Druid and beat them in game 3 through a Pact of Negation when they had lethal on board. Wow, that's crazy. Feed your Titans, jerk. Oh, my Titans are very well fed. Don't worry about my Titans. Worry not about my Titans. They're very well taken care of. Do I want to play around Blood Moon? I think I'm not gonna bring in... I'm not gonna bring in the Force, but I'm just gonna leave the Rex Sage in though. Just to hedge a little bit against it. Got all the white sources. We want Bog because of Reveler. What else? What else? Maybe I got some of these fellas. Like once they become 3/4s, they're kind of nuts, but it seems very hard to get them to be 3/4s. They do survive the other thing, like the one, like it forces my opponent to sack a land if they want to kill them with the lava something, lava whatever. I guess they shave in one, and I kind of want to keep all my flagstones because I'm bringing in a bunch of white cards, but maybe I can cut. I'm just gonna cut on the Reclaimer. Amulet is such a good shell, you can just kind of jam whatever fits you. Case in point is spicy deck. Fair enough. 3 cards in hand, delayed my Olam's Call Resolve, counter my Vizier, but I pushed more lumps to Vizier, and last card was the payoff spell. Nice. I mean, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. This is not a coward stream. No cowards on this here stream. I could explosives turn 1. That is going to hinder my opponent's development a fair amount, I think. Yeah, okay. Having to shock there kind of sucks, but it's fine. I'd rather shock and take the 2 damage than make my gemstone very, very bad. So I think we just do this here. Even if my opponent breaks my explosives, that's oh. Okay. So flagstones. So I'm probably gonna be purging this Kiln Fiend here. Even Burn is playing Oko. I saw that. That is hilarious. Like some crazy person was just like jamming Oko in Burn, which is pretty mind blowing, honestly. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be killing this Kiln Fiend here. I don't think I have yet seen what my opponent is splashing for. I want to purge that. Okay, so I'm going to be spending this turn to blow this guy up. Almost guaranteed. Now, I played my T-West. Basically, what I'm trying to think is whether there's a line that it makes it better for me to crack this right now and play my Amulet instead of waiting until next turn and playing both Amulets. But the only way that is actually good for me is if I top deck exactly Summoner's Pact or Prime Time. But even if I do that, I can just transmute for Pact and play Azusa and Titan anyway, so I think that it's correct for me to just do this. How 3 Oko main deck in my drill list now, thinking about going up to 4, that's ridiculous. And I don't really ridiculous like it's bad, I'm just saying like it's crazy how like even in an almost all-in combo deck, it is probably just correct to just like jam Oko, you know? And I think I'm going to crack here because I actually care about this point of damage because it allows light up the stage. My opponent used 1 already, but second main phase Swift Spear and Soul Scar Mage. Alright, that's a Reclaimer. That doesn't really do anything. But they only have a single card left in hand, though. So, play Amulet. Play Amulet. Play the Sula copy Flagstone. That gives me 3 mana. So I guess I do need to use this turn to transmute, so I'm just gonna Amulet. Amulet. Play Simic Growth. Bounce T-West. Play Reclaimer. Transmute for Summoner's Pact. Pass the turn. And next turn we have a Titan. That's lethal. It's not a bad draw for them. That Mishra's Bubble. That's a free Prowess trigger. Crash through. They always have the freaking crash through. That's insane. Wow. That card is so absurdly good in that deck. This is just lethal now, right? And they drew a bolt. That's ridiculous, yeah. Alright, we couldn't have won this game. I mean, if my opponent didn't have the crash through, we were fine, right? We just jump here. But, yep, they had it, so... The fact that Crash through even cantrips is just brutal for us. I think whether on the draw, I'd rather just like take out Bojuki Bog and just bring in another Reclaimer. On the play, I mean. Because it's much more likely to survive. Kind of into it. Yikes. If I had any kind of interaction here, I would keep this. But as is, this is a turn 4 Titan on the play. It's probably too slow. Is it though? Turn 4 guaranteed Titan on the play? Okay, I'm gonna keep it. We already have Titan mana, we have the Untap Source, we have the Asusas, and the Prime Time. So we should be... Like, if we don't die on turn 3, this Titan is likely-ish to help me stabilize. And if we draw something like Chimera Crossroads or, you know, something like that, then we are probably going to be in a fine spot. I want to think that if my opponent doesn't have a Kiln Fiend, turn 4 Titan is probably fast enough. Like, my opponent needs to have a Kiln Fiend on turn 2. Because Kiln Fiend is the one that just explodes, basically, right? The other guys are just, they are of course very powerful, but they don't just like explode out of control. The Kiln Fiend just, if your opponent taps with Kiln Fiend, then they basically just win. Oh, I guess that's what they're basically playing Arid Mesa because of the bubble interaction. All right, this is actually good for me. My opponent just like cantrip and a crash through. That is how we win this game. Uh-oh. I'm basically just chumping here, unless they have a crash through. Let's see what they got. Stomping Ground. Mm-hmm. That is good for us. That is certainly good for us. Yeah, I think I just play my Titan here. And I'm gonna get Field plus... Field plus Crossroads. It doesn't trigger right now, but this kind of protects me from my opponent killing my Titan. Because next turn I'm gonna get to play land, play Vesuva. I'm definitely blocking the Kiln Fiend here. Again, we're kind of covered if my opponent... We're kind of covered if my opponent kills this, and I really want to trade with this. This is the way that my opponent wins this game. Lava Dart on my Titan. Okay. They can bolt the Titan and Lava Dart the Titan again, and that will make it so the Kiln Fiend survives. I don't understand my opponent's play there. Alright, so we're going to play Forest first so we get our first zombie. play Asusa, play Vesuvak up in field, get our second zombie, second and third zombie, I guess. Then we're gonna play Simic Growth, get 2 more zombies, transmute for a Summoner's Pact, and play Elvish Reclaimer. And now we're actually looking pretty good. Why Asusa over Titan? Because the Titan it's basically just like a big 6/6, so I'd rather this gives me a lot of zombies and sets up next turn. And I didn't have Titan mana, right? No, I did not, because I would need to have played a bounce line in order to get the Titan. So this line seems way better than just because I just cannot cast a Titan. I would be 1 mana short. I don't have an Amulet in play. So P's gonna attack. Yeah, I just throw everything in front of this. So I'm gonna put this. So I want to soak the damage here, and I want to actually deal the damage here. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna block like this. Like we're just trading with this Skin Fiend anyway. And I actually am interested in trading with this Soul Scar Mage. Now, what if my opponent has Become Immense? If they become Immense the Keen Fiend. If they become Immense the Keen Fiend, that is 4 plus 3, 7 plus 6, 13. That would be 13, and I'm still... Yeah, I think this is fine. And if they become immense here, they save the guy. And I still don't die. Yeah, so I think these are the correct blocks here. They Titan next turn is going to win the game. As long as I don't lose this turn exactly. Casual extra 10 power for free? Yeah, I know. No big. Now the question with this Titan is going to be whether or not I should play around Blood Moon, and I think that I'm probably going to be far ahead enough that I'm going to be able to do it. That is a red spell. Let's see what they do. Lava Dart, face probably? Yeah, Lava Dart face. That's fine. This is not lethal. Even if they flashback this, it's not lethal. And they don't have any more Lava Darts. We still trade with the Soul Scar Mage. We're still at 10 life, and we're gonna get to resolve a Titan now. And we don't even need to worry about Blood Moon anymore. I think I'm calling this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Three, 4, 5, 6. Vesuva is already in play. I'm at 10, my opponent has only 1 mana. Ugh. So I think I'm gonna get... Yeah, so there's no way my opponent's playing Damp Sphere because like their deck doesn't function under Damp Sphere, so... I guess I'm gonna play around. Like, I'm so absurdly far ahead that I can, I guess, play around like cards that don't matter. So I'm gonna play around Blood Moon. Because without creatures in play, there's no way that I can die from 10 life. So I guess I could have hasted. Yeah, you're right. Just getting a gemstone and attacking. Yeah, that seems much better. Like, we're not losing this game anyway. Like, Simian Spirit Guide Blood Moon is literally the only way that we lose. So but I guess that it was technically correct to attack and then do what I did. So but yeah, you're right, Kyle. You're 100% right. It was actually correct for me to do that. All right, so we're gonna be looking at. I'm probably gonna keep this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this. Gonna be looking for Azusa, basically. Huh. Yeah. Okay, so I have the Flagstones already, so I guess Reclaimer is the better play right now. Could have gotten a Titan there, but we're kind of like short. Like, we would need this once upon to find an Azusa on the following turn, and that's only a turn 4 Titan, which is pretty slow. Reclaimer has the much higher upside. We got T-West. Snow-covered mountain. Wonder if we're playing against Greta or something. Oh. Valakut? Yeah, so I guess that we have to do this now. Another Simic. I guess it's not horrendous, because this allows me to reset the gemstone, and we get to once upon yet again. And drawing our 1-off Pact of Negation against Valakut is kind of nice. Let's see what we once upon into. No Azusa so far, which is pretty unlucky. Actually, I'm gonna get a Titan here. Yeah, because if I get a Titan, like, my opponent's not gonna do anything next turn. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna get a Titan. This allows me to hold that Pact of Negation. Poggers. Clearly the correct line. Clearly I was able to find the correct line. Thank you very much. Opponent concedes. Alright, counter magic comes in, and Force of Vigor. Explosives, I guess explosives, never mind, explosives in. Yeah, sideboarding against Valakut has changed a lot in the past like 2 or 3 months, because now Field of the Day is actually irrelevant. How do I like Reclaimer? It's definitely a lot of fun. Is it worse than Scout? Most likely, but but it does enable some really fun play patterns that are pretty exciting. So for somebody that plays Amulet as much as I do, it's kind of cool to, you know, to see these like weirder play patterns actually come up and be like relevant. Like it forces me to think more. It forces me to think way more than I would normally think in the, like if I were just playing regular amulets where all the lines become kind of like second nature. I kind of want to take a Celestial Sanctuary out because of Damping Sphere. That's a bit crazy though. Like I just don't want to cut green sources in a matchup where like Elvish Reclaimer is actually kind of cool. And also Castle is great. Hmm. Hey Rachel, how you doing? Huh. Yeah, okay. Especially in a matchup where I don't have any white cards. So I'm gonna be super sad. I'm gonna draw like Amulet without white sources, like in before, right? But I think it's still worth it. Uh, Sneep. Why are we running 33 main deck lands? Because we're playing Elvish Reclaimer and Flagstones of Trucker. This hand looks amazing, by the way. So all we need to do is find a Titan here. So even if they answer the first Reclaimer, we kind of like have a second one anyway, so it's kind of fine. This allows the Reclaimer fixes my mana for blue, so that's also okay. We have the Flagstones going, which is also nice. There's a Steve. Yeah, so I'm gonna activate here because it's actually relevant for me to find a blue source for this Tenfold Stroke. It's also kind of crazy how good this is against Mombuli Acid Moss. Like it's not impossible for my opponent to have an Acid Moss in hand that they simply could not just do anything about. That's hilarious. All right, sack Flagstones, get my value. I mean, you do see the power of like this combination, right? Like this is just so powerful here. So okay, so I can get Simic Growth here. I do get got by Acid Moss, but at this point I can't really play around Acid Moss though. So yeah, I'm gonna do Simic. Yeah, it's kind of unlucky that I can't play around Acid Moss any longer. That is okay though. Steven never getting in there. They also missed the land drop last turn. Yeah, here's the Acid Moss for sure. Hmm. Okay. Azusa down. So I can't get Titan next turn, right? So I just land Primetime here. Yeah, so we're gonna do T-West and another Simic Growth. I could also Flagstones to activate next turn, but that's, I think I'm just doing normal Amulet things at this point. Make sure we don't just randomly die to something. Yeah, my opponent is tilting off a little bit. Apparently they just were doing something else and they made some misplays. They sequenced some stuff wrong. And they were going for the 4. Look at that, I told you. And they were going for the 5-0. But now they're getting Amulet instead now. So I can sack this, get field. I still can't trigger it, which is unfortunate. Actually, I can trigger it. Yeah, I actually can trigger it. I have to be careful with my land sequencing though. But I think I got this. So I once upon holding up the Safeful Stroke, obviously, right? Sure, Stronghold. Play Stronghold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Azusa. This is the 4th differently named land. And now we're gonna attack with Titan. We're gonna get some Zombos. Still holding up the Disdainful Stroke. And Reclaimer activation, holding up both things. Acid Moss. So I just whiff it here. So we get Garrison, get another zombie. We're gonna transmute into Lair West for double strike land. And that is gonna be game. I mean, they're already dead on board. So 4-0. Actually, let me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a quick, like, 2-minute break because I need to go to the bathroom. So I will be right back. So don't go anywhere, and we're gonna play for the 5-0. All right. Coming back completely reinvigorated for that 5-0. How are we about to 5-0 with this? That would be hilarious. Are you tasting the 1-mana elf, or is it a legitimate card of the deck? So, Bernardo, this is basically like a new version. Like, this is the different way of playing Amulet. And you can see like the completely new play patterns that this card creates. I mean, if you have not been, no, if you just got here to the stream, then you're gonna be able to just take a check them out in YouTube. But basically, it just creates some entirely new play patterns because of this interaction. But this card has been very good today. Like it did a lot of very cool stuff. We did a lot of very very cool stuff, especially combined with Amulet. We had some very sweet sequences. Like for example, we played Gemstone Mine turn 1, played Reclaimer. Then we turn 2, we played an Amulet off the Gemstone Mine down to 1 counter. I played Simic Growth Chamber. I floated the mana with the bounce trigger on the stack. I activated Reclaimer to sacrifice the Gemstone Mine that had only 1 counter, and I went and I got Tolaria West to set up a Titan like 2 turns later. Like those kind of lines are very very sweet. Like we didn't have access to a Titan, and the Reclaimer just like gave access to a Titan for like turn 3 if we had gotten there. So yeah, it is very very cool. This is not a good hand. I'm not feeling the Natty Bog anymore, really. I haven't felt the Natty Bog in a while. So yeah, we're gonna mold this. This is actually better. Not by much, but this is definitely better. And I think I'm gonna ship the Stronghold. Having access to a guaranteed Asus, of course, much much better than having access to a Once Upon a Time. City of Brass. Alright, so there's no possible place for us on turn 1, so there's no need for us to Once Upon yet. On turn 2, we actually do. Oh, we're playing against Neobrand. Yep. Alright, we're getting memed. That's such a like shitty way to end this league. Like we were doing so well. Yep. Just getting memed here. I guess we do have 1 negate in the sideboard. And I do bring in like this. Okay, so we actually have more tools than with the average Amulet draw. Alright, so there's a Neoform where we're just dead here. I guess maybe they whiff. They're not gonna whiff though. Where's my Caracas? Draw Amulet. Go fetch Caracas. How sick would that be? Doesn't work like that. Different format. Different format. My opponent also naturally drew the Alsados Rider, so I don't think they can really whiff here. Assassin's Trophy. Huh. Alright, so we're not technically dead. Alright, this is kind of sick, so check it out. So we're gonna play Amulet first. Then we're gonna play Ghost Quarter. Then we activate Reclaimer, sacrifice Flagstones. We're gonna get a Temple Garden. No. Trigger. Bounce. We're gonna find the Simic Growth Chamber now. We're gonna bounce the Growth Chamber. Play Azusa. And we're gonna play T-West and play Simic Growth Chamber in order to transmute for Pact of Negation. And we're gonna see what my opponent does. That was like the only draw that gave me a chance. So that's cool. And if we need to use the pack, we can pay for it because of the Reclaimer. If my opponent knows what's up, they should probably trophy my amulet right now. Ugh. So that allows them to Grixis one more time. Okay. So now I am kinda dead. How many? They use 3 Simian Spirit Guides, so they're gonna get to draw their entire deck. But I think they did play their land already. So they can't cast the guy. They cannot cast the Lav Man. Okay. Okay. Draw 7. Okay. Okay. I don't understand why my point is going off here, honestly. Like, they're out of Simian Spirit, guys, so they cannot make any more mana, so they can't destroy my amulet, so I'm gonna be able to pay for this on upkeep. Packed it. Veil of Summer. That is how. That makes sense. Oh! I did draw the card! Yes! Yes! That is... Yes! Veil of Summer drawing a card! Yes! That is so great! That is so great! Wow! And this is why you don't concede against Neobrand. Oh my god, that was so great! Oh, that was so awesome! Yes! Yes! Oh my! Oh my! Oh yeah! Oh, that was so good. Oh, that was so good. And you guys saw the power of Elvish Reclaimer that game, right? Like, that was just awesome. That was so nutty. That was so nutty. Wow. I am so happy that happened. I am so happy that that happened right there. I'm actually going to shave one Titan here. And we're just going to go max interaction. We could probably shave the Crossroads, but we're bringing in so many white cards. It feels pretty bad to shave on a Crossroads. I guess I'm gonna shave on a basic forest. I guess it's better for me to shave on a cavern since forest casts discards. All right. That is so freaking hilarious. I am so happy that happened. I mean, so we have interaction on turn 2 here, so I'm gonna keep. They get turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Disdainful Stroke. I mean, this is what we're hoping for. Alright, so they did find the rider there. If you get turn 2, we get turn 2. We don't, though. So we're gonna have to counter the Allosaurus Rider here. Because we can't counter anything else, obviously, so... If we get Veiled here, we get Veiled. But, like, I mean, this is what we got, right? Like, it's not like we can play around stuff in this matchup. This is what it is. Either this is good enough or it isn't. So there goes the Veil. What did they pitch, by the way? Evolution and Metamorphosis. Okay, so they do have Neoform in hand. Manamorphose. Okay, so they're gonna try to morphose into Veil, I guess. That's the line. Nope. So I'm trying to figure out whether I want to pack for Azusa or not here. And I think I do, because... Yeah, I do, because next turn... next turn I can just pay for pack and then cast Titan anyway if my opponent doesn't answer my Amulet. And that would allow me to, on the following turn, have access to Pact of Negation. So yeah, so I need to pack for Azusa here. It's correct for me to do so. I'm gonna keep this one. Gonna get a Temple Garden. We're not gonna pay 2 life. And then we're gonna play a Sanctuary. I guess I should have played this Growth Chamber. It doesn't matter because I'm not gonna get to pay for Pact of Negation this turn, so this is actually for the following turn. But it was I guess it was technically correct for me to play a Growth Chamber there. Boom, boom. 1, 2. What am I fetching here? I guess it doesn't really matter. Are we gonna 5-0? We're totally gonna 5-0, aren't we? We're totally gonna 5-0 with this list. People, go really quick and get your flagstones while they are still a sleeper, because clearly we've broken Modern. Clearly Modern has been broken. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Modern confirmed broken. So they cast the Allosaurus Rider and they pitch whatever cards. They drew another Veil. That's hilarious. And now we're just going to pack the other Neoform. Easily pay for Pact.
Finish him!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let them die to their own pact. Now they might actually do some stuff and draw some cards. So let's just do the thing, you know. Well, that was awesome. That was freaking insane. We played against Grixis Shadow, Prowess, Meme Form, Merfolk, and Scape Shift. But there was some sweet stuff there, right? Like there was some sweet stuff there. Like that line that I found on that last game against Neoform, like on that first game against Neoform. You know, just like playing Reclaimer, sucking my Flagstone, using my Amulet to play my land, and like use that mana to go play the Azusa and then transmute for the Pact that ended up winning me the game. That is That is so sick. That is so sick. My opponent definitely in that game won. I think my opponent would have easily won if they just don't try to go for it, or if they go for it a little bit more carefully. Like they probably, unless their absolute last card was the lab ban, which is possible. I don't know what their hand what their deck was like, but if they don't need to like metamorphose into it, then I think that we just win. We just lose there, and we would honestly just be having a really hard time beating the 8/8 Griselbrand anyway. Elvish Reclaimer is superior one drop to Death Shadow. I mean, that's just facts right there, right? Opponent just had to cast one Summoner's Pact to end up at 15 cards. I guess they had to not cast a Summoner's Pact, right? Also, is the sideboard for the side guide for subs a video or chart with sides for certain matchups? So the one for subs is just the text. Is like a 15-page cyber guide, and for the short one, and a 51 for the long one. For the long ones, not all of them are long though. And the video ones are for Patreon. Oh yeah, by the way, didn't talk about this yet. So I finally launched my Patreon, which I'm very excited about. The big feature about the Patreon is gonna be, we're just gonna showcase it real quick right here. So check it out. Whoops. So the big thing is that if you are $5 per month, this is basically the same as subscribing, right? But if you get the second, the Azusa tier, then you will get access to like a bunch of Patreon exclusive content, including what I'm calling the Amulet Deep Dive series, which basically is me talking for like 20 or 30 minutes about one specific matchup. So this we're talking about Simic Ursa, then we're talking about Burn. I'm preparing the new one. The next one is going to be talking about Grixis Shadow. And basically, it's me going really deep about how to approach the matchup, what cards you would want to consider if you want to make your matchup better against those decks, and that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. And finally, the last tier will be one. It would be both of those things plus a 1 hour like a coaching session for Amulet, which can be catering whatever it is that you would like to learn or you would like to focus on in improving for the deck. Oh, Specchio, you're very, very welcome. Yeah, this is gonna be the modern channel, if not the last modern channel, at least like one of the very few remaining modern channels. For marketing purposes, I'm calling it the last modern channel because that's what marketing is. But basically, yeah, this is gonna be a modern focused channel. We're gonna play many different modern decks, but we're still gonna focus on Amulet because Amulet is awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out today. We're gonna cut it short. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for checking it out. I will be back next week with some modern videos, but you can always subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye. And for